Off the back of an impressive Esports World Cup in Saudi Arabia, Team Liquid would go on to finish first in the LCS regular season without dropping a single series. It was looking likely that TL would win the championship and cement themselves as 2024 NA's best team. However, Team Liquid would go on to lose the season championship to Flyquest, and Flyquest would knock Team Liquid out of Worlds and steal away the glory of being the only Western team in the quarterfinals. Today, we're going to look at Game 3 between Flyquest and TL at Worlds and explore how Flyquest was able to take it away. Once again, if you've been enjoying the videos, please don't forget to like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. Alright, let's get into it. So, Game 3 between Flyquest and Team Liquid was largely decided in the early game. Now, for anyone who hasn't watched this series, in Games 1 and 2, Team Liquid had proven themselves pretty consistently to be the stronger early game team. But in Game 3, this wouldn't be the case. And we're going to really focus on Inspired, the jungler from Flyquest, to see why this was different. Okay, so to start with, let's take a look at the paths that each jungler is taking. So we can see that Inspired is pathing his way up, and Team Liquid's jungler Umpty is pathing down, which means we're going to end up with a split map at the end of the first path. And as we've talked about before on this channel, the benefit when you have a split path is that for Inspired, because he's pathing up this case, he's going to be able to protect his top laner. So because he's got the Galio into Rumble in the top side of the map, he's worried maybe about Galio getting ganked, and he knows Galio has push, so Galio can help him to get the crab. Whereas for Umpty, he wants to path down because he wants to make space on the Kai'Sa lane. So for anyone who doesn't know, Kai'Sa is a champion which is kinda short range, so she usually needs other members of her team making space ahead of her. She's very good at following up on engages, and she's very good when given space to get near the wave. But if she's being bullied by a longer range champion, then it can be really difficult for her to get in. Okay. Now, the key part of the contest is going to occur on the first crab timing. So we'll see the mid lane matchup between the two teams. We have Yone versus Kled. And the mid laner for Team Liquid, Appa, is going to take a fast base and buy an item. And we'll see that the jungler for Team Liquid is actually going to skip the crab. So the crab spawns at 3:30. And what the jungler of Team Liquid is doing is he's skipping the crab. So then he's going to look for a gank mid. And he knows that there's no ward on top side from Team Liquid, so he knows he hasn't been spotted. But a lot of the times mid laners will predict that the jungler is doing crab at this time. And by skipping the crab, he's hoping to catch Inspired and Quad off guard by being there at a time that he's not expected to be there. And we'll see now that Umpty's coming around the back and looking for the gank. But actually, Inspired is here. So Inspired did his crab, which we can see on the minimap he's done. But actually he's pulled the crab towards mid. So when you do the first crab, you can kill it and walk it either upriver or you can walk it downriver. And because Inspired knows that Umpty is on the bottom side of the map, he no longer needs to offer that protection to Galio. And so he's dragged it downriver. And he's also looking to place a ward, which you can have before base. But because Inspired dragged the crab downriver, it means he's actually here for the counter gank. And so now, when Umpty and Appa try to kill Quad, the Inspired and Quad are going to be able to turn this back. It's very close, but as we'll see, Flyquest is able to win out on this one. Now, this is going to have ramifications for more than just mid lane, because we'll see now, when we come out of base, that Sejuani has camps up on the top side of the map. So Sejuani's Raptors just respawned, we can see on the minimap, and the Krugs will respawn afterwards. where for Inspired, he's got Raptors and he's got Krugs available. And now we have a problem in the bottom side of the map. So I mentioned before that with Umpty pathing towards bottom side, that he's going to be able to protect bot lane. But actually, because of the failed gank mid, this means that now Inspired is on the bottom side of the map, and Inspired has a very good idea that Sejuani's on top side of the map. I think he might even be spotted on that ward too. And Yeon and Core JJ have him prioritize getting that wave in. So usually on bot lane, there's a cannon which comes in at 405. And you want to try and push this wave in, this cannon wave at 405, so then you can base, and it's usually about the timer where junglers are basing as well, and it just provides that safety. But for some reason, Flyquest and Masu and Busio have been able to hold the wave. And so for Ian and Core JJ, their wave is now stuck very far up the lane, their jungler is on top side, and Inspired is going to be here, and he's going to be able to gank. And we'll see this play out in a second, where Inspired will come down into the bottom river for a gank, Busio flashes on Core JJ, and we'll see Core JJ die. And so we can already see, just one path into the game, that Flyquest is now 1.5k gold ahead, and they've gotten a first base on Xayah, and also they've gotten first base on that Yone as well. Now, this is going to have ramifications on the next path too, because when you're losing the game, usually this means that you want to trade objectives in exchange for space on lanes. But what we'll see from Team Liquid here is that Umpty's actually gone and started this dragon. And we'll see that Alistar's going to walk straight out to bottom side of the map to support him with it. But actually there's no pressure from Kaiser because Kaiser's about to base, and there's no pressure from Rumble on the other side of the map too. And now we'll see a really cool play from the members of Flyquest. And if you watch on that minimap, you can see that the Flyquest bot lane is deploying up on the top side of the map. And we'll also see that Skarner's headed up there too. And so now we have 4 members of Flyquest on that top side of the map. Sure, Team Liquid's going to finish off the dragon, but this also gave away exactly where Sejuani and Alistar are too. So now there's no members available from Team Liquid to defend this dive. And now we'll see that, okay, Rumble can ulti to kill the wave, but all 4 members are there. They're going to pick up the kill anyways, and they're going to start putting some damage into this tower. Now, you may think, okay, Team Liquid's going to be slower, but they can get some damage in on the bottom side too, right? But actually we see that Galio has held his teleport. So Galio can TP in, and he can pick up the wave, which is under that bottom tower. And also, because the dragon was down, it's not like Flyquest goes without an objective. They're going to be able to start up these Void Lava on the side of the map where they're strong. And this is again where Team Liquid can say, okay, we've made a mistake, we can give space, you take the Void Lava and let's set up some defensive vision. You know, maybe they set up some defensive wards on top side, or perhaps they've actually got some good vision on bottom side too. And then they can wait for Flyquest to make their next move. But we'll see Team Liquid do something out of desperation, where we'll see Umpty's going to come into top side of the map, and they're going to look to fight this objective. But this is a really difficult fight for Team Liquid to play out, because as we can see, we've got Masu in a very good position. It's very difficult for them to dive on him here, and there's no flank threats coming through from Team Liquid. There's nothing available there. We're missing Rumble ulti, which is, I think, really key for getting on the members of the backline here. And just in general, there's not a lot of vision control, not a lot of setup. We've also got a Yone coming in on the flank too, against Team Liquid, which is a really nice place for Yone to play the fight. And also on top of that, we've got an ultimate from Galio available too. So for Team Liquid now, it's going to be extremely difficult, perhaps even impossible to win this fight. And it's going to be very impossible to get on the backline from Flyquest. But Team Liquid being behind in the game, they'll still go for it anyways. And we'll see Galio comes in now, and the members of Team Liquid are going to get cleaned. Okay, so 7 minutes into the game, and we're already looking at a 3,000, maybe more than 3,000 gold deficit for Team Liquid, which is going to be really, really difficult for them to come back from. Okay, and so we'll watch one more path coming through from Inspired and the members of Flyquest. And this one's going to be the one which takes the game from being difficult for TL to come back in to really making this game hit impossible territory. So we'll see that Busio and Skana are going to walk up into this top river, and they're going to take vision control of this top river. The same thing which we usually talk about, where they'll sweep this out and they'll make a bridge with some vision between here and here. And this means that Inspired can be invisible, right? He's going to be able to threaten mid, and he's going to be able to threaten bottom all at the same time. And also, there is a ward here from Team Liquid, but this one has been spotted out from Flyquest. So this means Inspired knows where this ward is. And so we'll see Bwipo helping to set up this vision. And now this is where we'll see the really cool thing from Inspired. So Inspired's going to take a base now, knowing that the members of Team Liquid don't know where he is. And it's going to be at the exact same time which Bwipo arrives back in bot lane. So we'll see Bwipo killing this wave. And now the jungle and support from Team Liquid are going to show, because they feel pressured to defend this top tower. But actually they still don't have any information on where Skana is. And so now we'll see that Skana is actually heading out to bottom side of the map, and Team Liquid has no idea about this. And we'll see Skana is going to support Bwipo, and he's going to get a gank off onto Impact, and they're going to be able to get this bottom wave in. So I think I'm going to finish the video off there, because, I mean, at this point, maybe there's a path for Team Liquid to get back in if they play perfectly, but it would be extremely difficult to win the game from here. But I want to really highlight a couple of things. The first one is just the same thing which we're seeing from teams which are lower ranked in the tournament, which is that they're not willing to give anything up, and they're not staying flexible when they're losing the game. They're not trading neutral objectives or tower damage in exchange for vision and in exchange for waves, which they can use to restabilize the game. And, you know, like Team Liquid was doing this game where after the bot lane died, Umti's starting the dragon, which then exposes a dive on the top side of the map. But I also want to give some props to Flyquest, and especially Inspired here too, because when you play a game like this, a game 3 at Worlds to make quarterfinals against your biggest rivals, everyone's going to forget about what happened before this game. This is going to be the thing which everyone remembers from your entire year. And Inspired really stepped up at the time that it mattered for Flyquest. When they were in their most pressured situation, he made something happen on the first path, he made a dive happen on the second path, and he got another gank off on the third path. And he really put Flyquest in a position where it's almost impossible for them to lose the game. And I'd really like to highlight that as well. Okay, we'll finish off the video there. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget that I do offer that coaching on Metafy, so if you're looking to improve your rank or improve at the game, then you can book me through the link in the description. But other than that, thanks for watching, and see you next time.